Smith & Wesson, in collaboration with Lipsy's, put out what they're calling the Ultimate Carry J-Frame. So, my favorite gun, period, is this Smith & Wesson M&P 340. It's in 357 Magnum, weighs just a touch over 13 ounces unloaded, and it is absolutely terrible to shoot. Wonderful to carry. This was my ankle gun for many years. I carried it as a backup gun when I was on duty. I carried it around just as my CCW primary sometimes, especially when I didn't want to carry something else. Lower back starts to bug you. This is great. As you can see, it is very well worn. It used to be all black. This thing's been kicked, dropped on concrete, whatever my ankle could bash it into. Lots of holster wear. I actually sent it back to Smith & Wesson a couple months ago because these screws had rusted out and I needed a new front sight. It started to get dull on me. But it's a great gun, great trigger, and so this being my favorite, the only thing I would ever change about it that I thought it might be cool to get another one is maybe to have this gun in 327. So Smith comes along with the 432 UC, and I saw it on the YouTubes, and I thought that's going to be cool, right? I get a really good front sight, just like this gun here. I get that XS dot. Great thing. I tell you, it's a disappointment. Get it out of the box. I was still at the gun shop. Get it out of the box, and the first thing I notice is the cylinder. What is that? Why do I have resistance to close the cylinder, right? I shouldn't have resistance to close the cylinder. I don't have resistance with this guy. It's nice, just like butter. Or with this Smith & Wesson. I mean, shoot, that's even nicer. Or my grandpa passed away and I got his Model 10. Sure, not that one either. So these three Smiths have nice closing cylinders. This new production does not. Okay, so I checked that out, and I was not happy with it, but I ordered it, had it shipped to the FFL because I couldn't find one at the FFL. I called them and they tried first. I had to pay the gun broker premium because I wanted it now. So the transfer was happening regardless. So I take possession of the gun and I'm looking at it, and I'm really gonna try to get this to show up, but right here where they put this pin in the barrel shroud, it's boogered, and there's actually a sharp edge right along right here. If I run my finger down through here, that's actually sharp from where that metal was boogered up. And then it doesn't look good on the other side here either. Contrast that with this one. There's no sharp edge there. It's not boogered up. Looks like a guy put that together that knew what he was doing. This looks like I do better work than this, okay? So I'm already not happy with that. So let's try the trigger out. You know what? This model, this trigger is pretty good, except for the trigger freezes on you. I took this out to the range, and so yesterday we were trying to do some accuracy testing. So I'm going to post some videos on gel tests with these Federal rounds. I've got some buffalo bore rounds. I did these critical defenses. Well, as I'm doing this stuff, the wife was out running the camera for me, and I go to fire, and I'm pressing. I said, baby, come here. Put your finger in here. Press. And she was pushing on it, and it still didn't go. So the trigger's freezing up on this, so it's out of time. The cylinder doesn't close nicely. Also, I'm getting play forward and backwards. All right, there's usually a little bit, right, a wobble as far as the rotation goes, but I'm getting the forward and backwards. I can actually feel the forward and backward movement right in there. Can't remember if that's the yoke or the crane, but either way, here, and the ejector rod just feels kind of gritty. It's just certainly not. It's not what it once was. It's like I realized Smith & Wesson moved down to Merville, Tennessee, but I really wish they had done a better job at producing these things. And if I was Lipsy's, then my name was Lipsy, and I'd be a little upset that this come off here, and that this was supposed to be the ultimate carry, and right now it's going to be the ultimate go back to Smith & Wesson, and let's try it again, folks. I want a shroud that's not boogered. If the shroud gets boogered because I did it, hey, that's a love mark. If it gets boogered up out of the box, no go. I want my cylinder to close properly. And, you know, I can't have where I'm out firing and I can't get the gun to fire and I have to stop and reset it in order to try to get the mechanism to be not frozen. So before you guys go out and spend the gun broker tax on these Lipsey's Ultimate Carry 342s, was it the 442 model, the different models that they've got going, 642 and 632. Sorry, I said 332, it's a 432. But before you go out here and pay the gun broker tax, just understand that if you go out and get one of these early production runs, that they're having problems with them. I'm not the only one that's had problems with it. I've seen another guy did. So I wanted to hurry up and get this one out there. One, so I can send it back to Smith & Wesson. And two, to put the warning out that, you know, this is, again, buyer beware. You know, I just bought this Smith, I think it was 2020 when I got this one. This Model 19 Carry Comp, it's great, but don't know what happened here. Hopefully Smith can get it together.